Hi, I'm Ernie Conover, and this is my wife Susan Conover, who's a professional weaver and teacher of fiber art. And she laid a little assignment on me back a while ago to make some loom extensions for her loom. She'll tell you a little bit about that.
We needed this loom extension because of the type of weave structure that we are trying to accomplish on this particular loom. The warp itself, which is the material that runs from front to back, is very fine. So with Ernie's help, he devised this setup so that we had more depth to our warp material, and it allowed us to weave the structure without warp breakage.
The idea of this loom extension was worked out by Harry and Jette Vandermeeden in Canada. The problem with using solid wood for this extension is that you'd have a weak point right here, no matter if you ran the grain this way or this way. Therefore, engineered material became a logical choice. I glued together sheets of 3/4 inch Baltic birch to obtain 1.5 inch thick pieces, which I then literally machined. Very careful cuts in the table saw to keep everything absolutely square so this would all open up and stay very straight. Let's go up to the shop and I'll show you how we glue this kind of material up. To make up my 8-inch square piece of plywood, I cut my pieces slightly oversized. These are about 8 3/8 inches square. This leaves me some room to cut this to a perfect 8-inch square with square edges after the glue dries. Of the 3 glues I could use to glue this together, Titebond 1, the original, 2 or 3, any would work fine. I like 3 for this job because it gives me a little bit more open time and its brown color hides the glue joint a little bit more. Now, it's important to use a brayer to completely coat this perfectly so that you have both pieces with an even coating of even thickness. If you don't have a brayer, a common putty knife, a plastic one, will work, and you can use this to squeegee this glue out to a uniform layer. All right, my glue is evenly spread now, and I will simply fold these 2 together. I have made the grain on the face plies match. They're running up and down. And this really turns the 2 plies into a center ply, giving us 1 center ply that makes this an odd number, as is the case with all plywood. I can now take some big screw clamps, and I'm just going to come in here and give that a good squeeze. I'm trying to keep these as perfectly aligned as possible. And there I'm getting glue squeezing out good. And I now have to wait 12 hours before I can work on this. Now that the glue has dried, I've trimmed this piece up in the table saw so that all the edges are nice and square and smooth with a good carbide blade. And I'm now ready to build my loom parts. By gluing the 2 pieces of plywood together, I have dimensionally stable wood that has strength in all directions, where plain wood would break where I'm going to saw this notch in here. So it's a great trick. A little Titebond 3, 2 sheets of plywood, and you've got some pretty outstanding heavy gauge wood.